sketchydragon.com. Warning, this video contains opinions and stuff. Happy creative stuff.
And then the Batman movies came out, and we didn't even know that there were a lot of liberties taken with the character. The fact that in the movie he kills people and he's just like, shooting people left and right, and he uses guns on his car, blows up buildings.
Okay, sure.
Because that's contradictory to the comic, but Tim Burton was just doing his thing. And I've always loved the dark Tim Burton kind of tones and things.
Me too, I also enjoy his...
Addams Family, Nightmare Before Christmas.
He just has a different take on things, which is nice. It's refreshing.
Anything that's a little bit gory. I still remember, I think I was 10 though, but yes, Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was around age 7, I got into that. But I only saw Batman when I was 10, I think. And it was because a friend of my mother's, she had all these student friends, and they brought over the tape. And I didn't make the age restriction. I think it was PG-10 and I was 9, or I was 10, but technically they said then, look, but okay, they were students, they didn't care.
It's interesting. When's the last time you've seen something PG-10?
Never. I don't know. Do they still do that? They used to have
13 now, I'm sure.
They used to have restriction up to 21 as well, and they don't have that anymore. Now it's all 18.
Yeah, that's true.
But so I did those movies came out, and that was like, I was in love with that. And I was like, this is so dark, and he's killing people. And I've always loved that dichotomy. Like also sorry, let me just grab my water here. If you saw a movie or an animated show that had a little bit of blood in it, that used to fascinate me. I was like, there's something interesting about it. I feel weird. I feel conflicted when I watch this, and I like it.
Don't worry, Phil's not a serial killer. Not yet, anyway.
Not that he knows of. His water is totally spiked. We're gonna after. This is
so. If you do not see me after this, please call 911. Well, what's it? Well, actually, that wouldn't work because it's not 911 here.
Yeah, we don't have 911. We have, I think. Public service announcement. We do have Vodacom, and I don't know if MTN has it, but you can have like the cell phone code 082 911.
Okay.
So you do actually get that, but educational show. So I loved those movies, and that for a long time I was into that, but still I didn't know the subject matter. I think, when did the second movie came out? I think then Batman 2 hit. And we love that. Even though when I watch it now, I still love the Tim Burton take. I love that Catwoman, but there are a lot of issues with that movie. If you watch it now and really dissect it, it falls apart pretty badly.
It's nostalgia, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it has a lot of kickbacks to the 66 TV show, the Batman show. It has Penguin running for mayor, which is pretty corny. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. They actually took a lot of those themes, like the Penguin running for mayor, they used there. Okay, maybe that's a bad example. The Penguin taking... but then the movies I was still into, and we had the second Tim Burton movie, which still we loved, because firstly I was a kid, and secondly I didn't know that was contradicting the source material. Then Batman Forever came out, and I was young enough to still think that it was amazing.
Which one was Batman
Forever? Val Kilmer was in it. He was the Batman, and then you had the Batman, not Batman, he was Batman.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one where they introduced Robin, and they had... Who were the villains?
Was it the Riddler? Eh?
With the Riddler and Two-Face, that's it. With
Jim Carrey
and... what's the other guy's name?
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Men in Black. That guy. He's awesome, though.
Yeah, he's Two-Face in that movie, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Two-Face. A lot of people... It's going to come back to me, but Tommy Lee Jones, is that it? That's his name, Tommy Lee Jones.
I don't know.
Or is that that might be Pamela Anderson's ex.
Yes, that is... No. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But
not the drummer from Motley Crue, the other Tommy Lee Jones, that name. Something like that. I might have it correct. And a lot of people actually were like, oh, he gave such a horrible performance, and Jim Carrey was horrible. And I disagree, because if you watch that movie again, go watch all the scenes with Batman and Robin, and just like they're very weak. Chris O'Donnell and I'm not blaming the actors. To a large extent, it's writing, it's direction. And then if you look at the scenes with the Riddler and Tommy Lee, there are problems with the performances, more in terms of being faithful to the source material, because they're not faithful to it. They copied the Jack Nicholson performance, which just goes, dials up to 12, and it just stays there. There's no duality, there's no seriousness weight to the character of Harvey Dent Two-Face. Even
I enjoyed the Riddler's performance. It's just like he came across that like insane kind of
was
person.
good. It was very much Jim Carrey, but in some parts it was very Jim Carrey-ish, but it was very enjoyable.
But like you said, it didn't quite fit the movie feel. It was like, yeah.
Even if you look at some of the Arkham games now, you can see how Jim Carrey's performance in that movie fits the style that they're doing in the games. And the games are for the most part, they're very comic book accurate, and or at least they've got a really good take on the material.
Yes.
So I still enjoyed that movie. And what I enjoyed about that movie, which oddly enough you would think you'd say about a Tim Burton movie, is that the theme of the movie was everyone in this movie is insane. They all have psychological issues. Not everyone, but Batman is like definitely disturbed. Robin has issues. The Riddler and Two-Face obviously have issues. Even Dr. Chase Meridian, who was the pretty blonde actress whose name I forget now, he used to be married to Tom Cruise. Wow, this is a very informative podcast. Like you can hear things like, oh, that one with the blonde hair and the thing with the whatnot. Again, so it'll come back to me as well. Nicole Kidman. That's it, Nicole Kidman. Her character was also like she was after the Batman the whole time romantically, and she wasn't, she didn't seem well adjusted either. So that movie still blew my mind. We had all the trading cards, we went crazy for it, and my friend had the movie version of the comic book. I think I got that from him eventually, so I still have that. And then Batman and Robin came out, and at that stage I was buying my comics from a comic book store where I would go weekly or monthly or bi-monthly and just pick up my order. And I heard people talking about it, and I wasn't aware that I wasn't sure that whether they were talking about this movie, but I heard someone asked him how the movie was, the guy behind the counter, and he said something like he wanted to walk out. And I'm like, that can't be the Batman movie, because I love the Batman movies. They're going to be amazing. What does he know, stupid? He just reads comic books all the time and works at it. He doesn't understand, But when I saw it,
and you get all the one corny liners.
And I was still a kid, but I specifically remember I went to watch that alone at Stadland, the same place, so, not the greatest area now, but you could still go there. And my mother dropped me off. I saw the movie, she picked me up. And it was bad. It's just.
I won't lie. The one thing I really did enjoy from that movie, though, was the Poison Ivy scene. Like the background scene.
Yeah.
When they introduce
her origin.
No, not her origin. Like the actual details in the background scene, like the environment they create on set.
You mean the set? Yeah.
The sets, like where they introduce Bane and all that, like that. It was like orange smoke coming out and all that.
Well, and lots of neon, because apparently Joel Schumacher just loves making everything neon.
But it was I don't know. It gave that weird like feel to it.
But look, I was listening to someone talk about it, and we'll get back to what you just said, because I'm sort of derailing your conversation. But what happened with the Tim Burton movie is the first Batman did really well in America. Did well here, but in America did amazingly well. And then the second movie got a McDonald's Happy Meal deal with toys. And then the movie came out, and it was really dark and disturbing, and there were a lot of sexual references in the movie, so people didn't feel it was appropriate, and then the deal got pulled with McDonald's. So I think what happened is that's why they abandoned doing a dark Batman for the third film, and they just went, okay, no, we'll do Joel Schumacher, we'll do a light-hearted feel of the Batman, and that's sort of where everything went wrong, because you're trying to serve two audiences at once.
Yeah, they went to the one spectrum.
That's it. You're trying to either you had kids in the movie or you have adults in the movie, but trying to do both doesn't go well. And they were trying to sell toys. If you look at all the costume changes and that. But last time Batman looked like this, so this time we'll give him something different, because then people have to buy a new toy. And there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, that's true.
That movie just... Alicia Silverstone, I thought she was, when I was a kid and teenager, I thought she was super hot. I loved her she was in a lot of the Aerosmith music videos. She was in that one with Liv Tyler, maybe 2 videos.
Okay, yeah.
And I used to watch that over and over, and I obsessed about it a little bit. And she was in this movie, and I loved her as an actress, and then I just couldn't love her in that movie, though. It was just, she was doing the baby face the whole time. Okay, Uncle Alfred. And I can't do the impression, but it was bad. It was so bad.
Your impressions are quite good. Hey? That sounded like a woman too.
That's completely. If you're listening to the audio version of this, this is not an actual woman talking. But that whole movie is weird. Like, so she has this. she's reuniting with her uncle, and they're like walking in the garden talking, and then like Batman, well, okay, Chris O'Donnell and just was George Clooney, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Oh, yes.
Was it Dick Grayson this way? Yeah, it was Dick Grayson Robin. They're just
I get confused.
but it was them, because that was the original Robin in the movie. They're just walking behind them like creepily, just like with like almost head bobble style, George Clooney. Also a great actor, but in that movie just definitely didn't work.
That's the one movie he hates out of all of his performances.
Oh, but he admits that it didn't
I know.
do
He
well.
admitted it. He said he would refund everyone who bought that movie.
Oh, he did actually.
Yeah,
I
he
heard
did.
about that.
So if you bought the movie and you want a refund, maybe try get his number.
PGDragon.com. Warning, this video contains opinions and stuff. Happy creative stuff.